Good morning, kids. I'm Mr. Jared. Before we get to our Bible lesson, let's all stand up. Go ahead, stand up. Now let's stretch. Stretch up and out and over. Shake those arms. There we go. Awesome. Now you can sit back down. Our missionaries of the month are Jorge and Savannah Madrid, who serve God in Honduras. Mr. Xander just prayed for them in the field house. You can also pray for them throughout this month. Now for our Bible study. This week's passage covers Judges chapter 6 through 8, and it starts with a common theme in the book. The Israelites did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. Because of this, the Lord gave them an enemy called the Midianites. The Israelites cried out to God for help, and God sent Gideon to save them. But Gideon asked God, "How can I deliver Israel? I'm the youngest one in my family, and my family is the weakest of all the families." But God said, "I will be with you." This is a good reminder for us that God doesn't need the biggest and the best to accomplish his plan. Actually, he often uses the weakest and least of people to fulfill his plans, because sometimes that is what gives him the most glory. Gideon and an army of men got ready to fight the Midianites. But God told Gideon he had too many men. So Gideon sent some of the men home. The army went from 32,000 to 10,000 people. But God said it was still too many. Gideon finally reduced the number down to only 300 men. Why do you think God had Gideon do that? So they couldn't depend on their own power. When the battle began, the 300 men of Israel ran toward the Midianites' camp, blowing their trumpets and shouting. God confused the Midianites and caused them to fight against each other. They ran away, but Gideon and his 300 men chased after them and defeated them. The Israelites did not win that battle by themselves. God fought for them, even though they had turned from him. The people needed God to save them, and he showed his grace by rescuing them. God showed us his grace by sending Jesus Christ to save us from the penalty of our sins, because we cannot save ourselves. Only God, through Christ, can save us. There are some other very interesting things that happen in this passage. So ask your parents if you can read these chapters and discuss them together with your family. We'll continue next week in our study of God's plan of redemption as we look at Samson, so you definitely don't want to miss that. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page, because we're having an outdoor artwork contest that you can be a part of. We're even giving away a prize for the winner. That's all from us. Have a great week.